everybody, and in this video I'm going to be talking about my experiences and my thoughts with the brand new Iron Banner pulse rifle called the Time-Worn Spire. So before we do anything, let's take a look at what this gun actually does. So it has deeper ammo reserves, slightly faster reload when magazine is empty. For the sights, we have Hitmark IS, we have Red Dot Micro, and Rifle Scope SSF. We then have Tactical Mag for you to choose from, or Accurized rounds, and then we of course have Zen Moment, which is an awesome perk. It's just super duper duper great. Now, the archetype of this pulse rifle is basically the same as Lincoln Green. It has the same rounds per minute, it does the same kind of damage and speed that it fires at. But the difference is that the Time-Worn Spire has more range and a faster reload speed, but it has slightly less stability and slightly less handling. But I would take less stability and less handling any day to get that much more range and reload that quickly. So seeing as it is basically the same as Lincoln Green, and as we may or may not know, Lincoln Green benefits greatly from the kinetic counterbalance mod. So I decided to go and check out how much does the Time-Worn Spire actually benefit from running counterbalance mods on your armor. So what you're going to be watching is me just shooting the weapon, not controlling the recoil whatsoever. This is with 0 counterbalance mods, and as you can see, the recoil is just straight horizontal to the right. Next, you're going to see me doing the exact same thing, but this is with 1 counterbalance mod. You can see that it makes it go straight up for a little bit, and then it starts going a little bit to the right, but it's definitely a more manageable recoil than with 0 counterbalance mods. And lastly, of course, you're going to see me using 2 counterbalance mods, and it is just straight. It barely even moves. It barely even moves. It's just there. It doesn't even really go up. It just stays in one single spot. So if you get this weapon, try using 2 counterbalance mods, because my dear man, that's just not even really recoil. What is that? That's not even recoil. I can't even consider that recoil. It is just straight. And compared to just 1 or 0, it is a huge difference. So now that we've got the science out of the way, because I don't do science, I'm not Dado, I'm not Holtzman, that's not what I do, but I was just interested to see how the counterbalance mods affected this weapon, because if you aren't aware, counterbalance mods are useful for weapons that have a horizontal recoil because it will make the recoil more vertical instead of being horizontal. So that is why I wanted to try it out, and turns out it does a really, really good job. Now in the gameplay, I am not using any counterbalance mods, so my opinions are just with the weapon straight up, with you not having to run counterbalance mods. Because I think if you're like, well, this weapon's really good, if you make a build around it being really good, how good is the weapon really? I do want to talk about how the weapon is just by itself without putting counterbalance mods. So as we know, counterbalance mods make the recoil freaking fantastic, but how does the gun compare against the top hitters of the crucible, such as Uriels and Mida, and that's pretty much it. Well, it actually doesn't do too bad. I think you'll still find that Uriels and Mida are very good. Those high caliber rounds are really going to screw you up, but the gun feels really good. It definitely melts. It feels like you're using one of the Destiny 1 pulse rifles in D2, which is awesome because at the moment, pulse rifles aren't really in the greatest state. Like, you can use them. Vigilance Wing, for example, I have a great time using, but they're just not going to be the best weapon that you can take into any given game. But I can say that if you're going to use a pulse rifle, this is probably going to be the one that you want to use. It has a very high rate of fire, which means you're able to take people down very quickly. It also has a pretty freaking good range stat on it, so you can compete with some of those heavy hitter weapons that are in the Crucible. And for someone like me who has always loved pulse rifles, I've loved pulse rifles since just the beginning of Destiny. The Hawksaw was my baby. I loved Time on Target. I loved all of those kind of weapons. I loved the Messenger. Like, I've just loved pulse rifles. So to be able to get a pulse rifle along with Vigilance Wing that I can actually use and feel like I'm not giving myself more problems It's really nice. So I would highly recommend you guys trying out the pulse rifle. Try it with no counterbalance mods and see how you feel. If you feel like you don't like the recoil pattern, then definitely throw some counterbalance mods on, because as you saw in the video earlier, like a few minutes ago, those counterbalance mods make a huge, huge difference. So if you are struggling at all to hit your shots, try it out with counterbalance mods, and I think you're gonna have a really good time. Having Zen Moment on the weapon as well is really, really nice, because you're just making your stability even that more better as you're shooting. So it's kind of a laser beam with those mods, and even without the mods, it's still really good. It melts people and it has really good range. So I'm really happy that Iron Banner brought us a weapon that we can actually use, that is usable in the Crucible, and it's not just going to be like a, well, I kind of like this gun, but it's not very good in the meta, so I can't really use it that much. It's actually a usable weapon. So I would highly recommend grinding for the pulse rifle if you don't have it already. And if you have it already but didn't really want to try it out because it's a pulse rifle, I highly recommend trying it out. It is a good weapon. It gets a thumbs up from me, and I could not wait to use it more with those counterbalance mods. Although I'm going to miss my class ability cooldown because I crutch on Shade Step, because I'm a Night Stalker. I'm just kidding. I'm just being the internet right now. I'm just being the internet to myself because I apparently hate myself. But that's gonna be pretty much it, guys. The gun, definitely really good. I would put it in the upper tier of weapons that we currently have available for us in the Crucible. For PvE, I don't freaking know. I just shoot things. They're aliens. I don't know. I'm not optimal DPS data. If you guys enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section. If you have the pulse rifle, what do you think about it? How have you been finding your time in the Crucible using this pulse? And if you've used it in PvE, how is it? I don't know, maybe it's amazing. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you awesome people later. Bye.